Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for October 13th, 2021. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. To access the Zoom call, what we will do is we're going to scroll down and look for the Zoom banner right here. If you'd like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, click here, and it's a monthly fee. All right, let's enter the Zoom call. We're on the Zoom platform. I'm going to click this and we will be live.
We are still running from yesterday, and so here's where we are at this moment in time. And okay, let's look at our and we just want the soul imaging today. So let's go in here, for example. And I wanted to show you too the other day when we wanted it a number of times. I don't know if you remember that. I did actually copy some of that down for you and haven't shown you, so we need to do that. Let's just go ahead and we'll start and put some of these things in the soul imaging. But we've got oppression correction is the theme, a little stress related to vitamins, blood, and that's actually our next project. Is we're going to go into blood clearing because that's coming up with a theme for so many. So we're going to go in, especially with some of the information we're getting out there. But you see, we can put these things all, if we want the soul imaging, we can put all of these in that one at a time. Let's just see, for example, though, with evaluation. So here we are. We just put that in the Gong, and we're still. Let me just redo that. See, now that's. If I don't do that right away, we're going to reset it in a minute. And I sometimes forget. Yielding the chemical stress. Let's just, I don't know where that's coming from, food, air, water.
Drugs.
Yep. Hey, Marty. So all kinds of things. And I remember back years ago, Bill Nelson, who put the QXCI together, and then, later other, SKIO, Indigo, etc. He said at that time, the number of chemicals daily introduced to us, and there was pretty much no checking anything out. They just came. Compartmentalization, shame, panic. Let's look at that shame because that is a tremendous voltage reducer. Anyway, I'll add these all to the Gong and hopefully not forget to start it. But you see, this oppression is a major stress at this moment in time, and that could be, the oppression could even be related to the chemicals. So let's go back in and get a little more specific. And come back to that. And I want to show you, I'm not sure where takes a minute to get down here. from looking at all this, I think we generate a little more electricity each day just by being here together. And that's what I'll go into a little bit more on that. Didn't realize this was so far back. Here we go. This was when we wanted so much soul imaging, so I just kept doing it. Look at all this that we cleared: pressured, doomed, cockiness, affected, irritated, and so on and so forth. I'll send that out. I just think I did this over the weekend, so I forgot to mention it. But don't forget the soul imager for any of this. You can even paste your affirmations in or your intentions in, etc. So I want to show you, I finished the Power of 8, really more excited about it, even with the information and the interesting information on the power of our thoughts, and like they're doing in the Telegram and like we're going to do in our group. You might want to, I guess I need to hear, maybe I'll touch base with you today, those of you who said you'd be interested in being in the group. The idea is that we meet at a regular time, at least once a week, and we can do it virtually. And for 10 minutes, send an intention to whoever, is the priority for that time. And we'll talk more about it tomorrow, but in the interim, it might be interesting to scan yourself and see if you have any particular blocks. I think I mentioned the other day, I had one person who her block was forgiveness, and this may be why some of our thoughts and affirmations, etc., don't work, as we have a few core issues that are throwing us off. But if we just look at this, it's not that long of a list, and just see as a group. If we have anything under 1,000. Okay, so the amygdala. Remember, the code is a good thing, so let's just see where we are with that. We're good. Looks like more of an acute stress than a chronic. This cosmic consciousness, what happens, the people who participate in these groups realize that they're actually tapping into the power of the cosmos. And the more the quantum physicists learn, the more they realize we have a complete network. All of us are connected. And what they start noticing is their love for fellow man. So it's very exciting. I hope you do get, those of you who have the book, I hope you do get to read it. It's quite a read. And what they're doing, and then maybe even plug into the Lynn McTaggart group.
Very good.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so again, let's just go into that cosmic consciousness. Let's see what else we've got, if anything. Inner life, that was a stress yesterday too. We may have to do a little more looking into that. I don't know what that is about. Open to receive healing. This is something you might want to douse into all your people, of course yourself, is that very often, for reasons we're totally not aware of on a conscious level, we're not ready to heal the issue. We're not ready maybe to manifest the money or whatever. So here's one again. As a group, we're asking for a little nudge upwards. And again, the code is from Grab a Boy. Now, this is an interesting one. Maybe today, if we get a chance to talk individually, they're talking about the potential tsunami coming from the volcano. I wonder if we want to work with our thoughts on that, if it is even a priority. Because there are plenty of case studies about people succeeding with such things.
What was that?
We have the, I've not followed it closely, but we have the volcano that they're saying that if it erupts and landmass goes into the sea, that we could have a tsunami on the east coast of all the continents over here, all the North American continents. And when I tested it initially, it didn't look like that was going to happen, but I got more calls about it this morning. I don't know if anybody has been researching this or has anything to add right now.
I'm going to see if I can't find something that recently one of the weathermen here in Tampa put on his website. I'll if I see it, I'll let you know. I'll look at it right now.
That would be great. Yeah.
Also, it's called La Palma, and Bushcraft Bear puts out videos on YouTube, Bushcraft Bear, and Cliff High did a video on it as well, explaining the tsunami situation, and basically it would be more or less, they're talking like tidal waves. I mean, they're really scaring the crap out of people. Nobody really...
Yeah. I don't like that. That's right.
Yeah, and nobody really knows what's happening, and Cliff did it from a more scientific perspective where he shows you there's no way that it can be a tidal wave unless, you know, and this is my input from Fukushima, was there was other human intervention. But what I have learned is how powerful we are, and you know, these Luciferians that are out there, it's like we can really put them in checkmate.
Yep.
It does. There's no question that we have the power when we are unified, and that's what's happened. Like we know, is we have been so divided for all kinds of reasons. But yeah, that's what I picked up with the SRC. And the SRC is not psychic; it just shows resonance. Looked like, you know, this was something more designed to scare the heck out of us than anything. But, you know, I'll talk with you each today, hopefully individually, that said you want to be in this group and go forward. And anyone else that hasn't contacted me, if you want, the idea so far, surface idea, is we get started perhaps right after the Zoom, maybe at 11 o'clock, so we have the same time. We simply get together and do a Zoom, take our pictures out, listen to the music for 10 minutes, and send our thoughts. And the subject of the thoughts, she suggested they write an intention statement. In other words, they would list what's going on, write an intention statement, and send it to us. Does that make sense?
Yes, and what I've learned about manifesting from my daughter is when you come from the heart space and it gravitates to your brain where you actually are like playing a movie, then from there, it's through the voice. Like it's even in the Bible, that, you know, you make this heart connection of love, and then you speak it. I mean, loudly, you speak it like I'm talking to you. And it's incredible how my daughter can manifest now. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I'm reading right now a book that I resonated 100% with purchasing and reading, so I'm reading it. When I first got it, I looked at it like, what? But it's Unified Healing. I'll put the name of it in the notes today. But he's talking about that. It's with sound and love. He does his healing. And it was kind of funny. The guy spent probably up to about age 40 as an alcoholic. And finally got that straightened out. And I always said if I ever wrote any kind of crazy story where we had to manifest something big with group work, I'd go to AA. because very often the people who are prone to any kind of substance abuse are such sensitive, powerful people that they're somehow drawn to that stuff to kind of tone it down. And it looks like in his case, when he was able to quit the drinking, and he had a horrific childhood, basically no parents, etc. So he got to drinking in the service, and it became a terrible problem. But he has done some interesting work. I'll put the name on. He does it mostly, of course, this is some time ago. He's not with us anymore with rods, but the information is worth sharing. And the sound is a big deal. Even, I don't know that we want to say anything on our, Zooms, but we'll have to kind of, as I said, I'm not sure exactly how to go about this, but I have learned over the years it's better just to start and do it. And then also, a couple of things we're going to be doing. We're going to be working on, as I said, the blood clearing, and we're going to be working on programming water as an antidote for various things. And one of the things also I did learn, and I think we've got this covered in that scan that we do, is one of the things the vaccine is doing is, or attempting to do, is knocking out the chakras. So we also want to look a little bit more at the chakra system, and there's a lot more chakras than the 7 we're familiar with. So we want to look at that.
Cathy, may I make a suggestion?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, if you want to do this with meeting after the meeting, I suggest you start a new premium now, and you put in the name box the group, and then underneath you put in clear, and so that you clear all group members from any negative thoughts.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to start today, so yeah, I want to talk with each of the people and probably start tomorrow. And I guess those who are interested in being a subject can express that as well. And then, but yeah, I agree with Ralph. That's a great way to get started. So let's go ahead here. And like I said, our next project will be blood clearing.
Cathy, I found that. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Dennis Phillips, who is kind of like he's such a down-to-earth weather guy. Anyway, concerning tsunamis, for some reason I've received 11 billion messages about this. I suppose anything is possible. Ask the dinosaurs. This should probably be up there with alien invasions on your freakout list. Yes, Rule 7 applies, and his Rule 7 is don't freak out unless I freak out. Yes, Rule 7 applies to volcanoes, induced tsunamis, and alien attacks as well.
Thank you.
So that's what he says.
And, you know, it's an interesting thing. I don't know if anybody else is noticing. I'm not one, the CIA coined the term conspiracy theorist back in '61, probably to make us not ever want to speak up. That's my thought. But some of this stuff, I think, may come out designed to make people look like a bunch of conspiracy theorists. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, this is just more fear porn to keep people all riled up.
Yep. And some of the things about the vaccine, I don't think are true either. And they throw it out there and people all get carried away. I'm not pro-vaccine. That's my business. But as far as some of the things that come out, it's well worth double checking the source.
And then from literature that I've studied and just things of studying these blood families, fear is an amazing tool. There's a movie called Monsters, Inc. and how they can basically steal our energy through fear. But when we turn it around and we come from a space of love, we empower ourselves. We become scalar technology when a group of us come together and we can totally, basically send them off planet and vaporize them,
Well,
so to speak.
yeah, it's a voltage roller, and what we don't realize is that this knowledge that everything is energy is there, and we have not been necessarily privy. Like I say, they sure don't teach it in school. But more of us now are aware. Our consciousness has really jumped, and we are aware, and we're stepping away from the fear, which does nothing but debilitate us. Now, there is genuine fear. You're not going to step off a cliff. We have it for a reason, but what we're wanting to clear is dysfunctional fear. So you see, with again, I'll do the same thing with the soul imaging, because that's all we want today. And I just hit auto first, and we see careless, which is a thought. And that's it for today. It's pretty simple. Remember, this software is not complicated. Get in, hit your wonder click. Once you're comfortable, go up, look at the go in to the charger, and here to load charge, and just go up to the, I don't know why it has my name on it, but this is a whole bunch of Rife blocks, and you're familiar with Rife. For example, here's 108 frequency. That's not a Rife block, but we're going to be charging that up for our work in the group. And let's just see where we are. I personally like to see how long. This is the healer's frequency, this 108 supposedly. I want to go over more tomorrow. I talked with someone yesterday, and they were talking about some ways we can test to see, are we on the right track? Is this working? There's so much. For example, like I mentioned, so much we can do with water, etc. So we got a ways to go, always will.
And remembering that water holds memory.
We've got, okay, here we go, 4 minutes. Let's see if 5 is any higher than that. See, 5 would have been not quite as effective as 4. And then there's a bunch of others. Let's just, for example, and I like to put priority for chi, because that's what we're doing, is raising chi. Let's just put blood Rife block. That's going to be our next project. Let's just see, do we as a group want that today? Yeah, we'll take that. So there's a bunch of charges related to blood. I'll work on that back and forth today. And like I said, this is a short call because we're still running. And all we want in the pro is the soul imaging. Here's our timeline. I did add, I'm taking out oppression. Don't let it go. So that is it for today.
Use group.
Oh, yeah, Ralph, tell it a little bit about the group work you're talking about.
Okay, what I want to initiate is theory the same like you're doing here with this group, but I want to really get the word spread so that 300 people in this group, we have probably SRC4u users, so I want to gather them together. We mentioned before is we combine, the better it is.
Absolutely.
What I would is for of those sessions to have a separate clearing session running parallel. Our thoughts and our minds, how they work, is sometimes tainted with something which is called egotism. So we are doing something good because we want something good in return, and that should not happen. We should do something good because we wanted to.
Yes.
And so I want to get these people together and then to pick out a person in need. It doesn't have to be one of our group.
Right.
It has to be somebody who is really in dire stress. And I want to get the stories on the site. I want to show people what stress other people are in, and make them aware that it is our time now to be in the business. And I'm not talking about just the fact that we want to heal people, but we have to heal ourselves as well in a different form and fashion. So the SRC software was created for professionals like you, Cathy, to be able to help others, but it was never meant to be free for those people. And free, if I talk about this, doesn't mean money. It could be just a word of mouth. Here is some a group which can help you. Here is a software which helped me. You know, so we want to come out with a new website, and that website will be totally free to use, and it will just ask, if your wish came true, please donate. And that's it. And we want to call it the SRC4u Genie, or the Genie, and educate people that the genie which they unleash is within themselves. They don't know what they can do. And like-minded people together have the power of 1,000 genies. And that's what we want to achieve. So that I told you that there is new things coming out by the end of the month. It is announcements. It's not the final thing, but we are working on brand new principles, and hopefully have found the right partners to do it with. And so it will be exciting. I'm probably the strongest promoter of our software in any form and fashion, because I try to educate people the simple way of how they can feel their energies. You saw hopefully my little video about the energetic being. So these are things I like to bring into the forefront. That's where the Telegram group comes into place. By the way, when you have multiple devices, like I have 2 computers with Telegram and my cell phone, they always sync up. That means you should see the group on both, or on all 3 or 4 or 5 devices. So I didn't understand Joanna's question there, why it's not showing up in your cell phone.
Maybe the two of you can figure that out. And I think it's interesting, the synchronicity, and they say that about our field, that when an idea is out there, it comes to different people. It's so funny that your Telegram group, you're thinking of the similar hour of a group, and it's maybe time for that now on this planet, more so than it was before. And also, what Lynn McTaggart says is, forget the self-help, because we're going to do so much better if we forget ourselves and just focus on service. In fact, they say there is no mastery without service. So pretty thought-provoking. And let me ask you this, Ralph. So if I put the Power of 8 group and I put for the situation clear, is that what you were saying?
Yes, yes.
Now just hit wonder click?
And just hit the wonder click.
Yeah, let's quickly optimize.
Yeah. And Cathy, if you would be so kind in contacting me, I got the permission to tell you something.
Oh,
and so,
good.
Okay.
Good. All right, I will do. Any special time?
No. When today I am working on some stuff, so I should be at the house the whole time.
Okay, I'll give you a call right away. All right, so here we go. We need a little relaxation. Now this parasite stuff, and this ties in, I've been seeing a lot about amino acids also. There's our ego, which is our computer operator, may come in and try to say things like, oh, I don't have time for this, or this won't work, or whatever, or I can't do it, etc. That's kind of how the ego works. We're doing a little balancing there. Let's see what else.
If you click the word seam box, you can open it up on top of the seam box.
I know, it is just a matter of habit that I forget to do that. Thank you. Anyway, so this gives you an idea, all subtle, all from the etheric. Ralph, will you explain the Hun correction?
Okay, I talked to Grandmaster David about it. The Hun are the spirits you call onto. So it's the Hun exists out of multiple entities, and there are the negative part has a different name. The Hun is the positive part.
Oh, okay.
That's out of the traditional Chinese QiGong ways. So it's calling on these entities which help you with your conscious and unconscious mind. So when you see the Hun correction, that means it's putting it back into position. I couldn't see what the relation to the Hun was. Can you show that again?
Yes, yes.
I heard also, well, if you chant that, that's very powerful too.
Yes. I wish I could tell you how many sounds are embedded in, okay, it's excess general. So this would mean it's related to the conscious mind. Okay. So the number of frequencies within the premium, I tried once to figure this one out, because you have to envision that there are combinations of frequencies which are overlaid, and how many possible combinations there could be, but it comes into the billions. So don't think millions of frequencies. These are the fundamental frequencies which we have in there. If it is from sound, solfeggio to derive and so on, through colors, through vibrations, it's just horrendously how much there's in it. But when you put up the combination between A and B, gives you, you know, A1, and then between A and C gives you A2. So you get a billion of combinations of frequencies which can be sent out. And Cathy brought up the quantum physics, and be aware, in quantum physics, distance and time don't matter, so it's instantaneously accessing it.
It may have that in the book, The Power of Eight, many instantaneous healings.
Yep.
That might be where our ego steps in and just can't quite accept that. But it is reality.
That's correct, because in comparison to quantum, our existence is set in time, and so what takes no time in quantum can take years in our real lifetime, depending on how many blocks we have in ourselves. And that's why the clear is, in my mind, an essential thing to do. And again, I mentioned this once before, but when was the last time you cleared your computer?
Yes, thank you. That is good. And somewhere in there, I think we have a cocktail also for that. I was just thinking about that the other day. Let's just put all computers owned by those on the Zoom day. And we're just going to put clear. Is that right, Ralph?
Yes.
We do have, I'll have to look for it now. I was just thinking about that the other day. That Dr. Percy had given a wonderful cocktail for that. You see, everybody, how simple this can be.
Now, if you paid attention, you saw the red line being quite high. I think it was 69. So some of the computers seem to have a negative energy in them.
This is probably something. How often would you recommend a clearing like this take place?
And look at the numbers.
Yeah.
What you given.
Are you talking about all of our computers?
Yeah, those on the call today. Just, thought it might be interesting. Let's see what we got. Ralph, can you give us a definition of shoe screen points?
No, I know a little bit, but not enough. So, this would be a question to put into the group, into the Telegram group, because Grandmaster David is monitoring this group. He hasn't appeared yet, but he is a part of it.
Great. Okay. Well, we can do that then, because I know I tried to put a glossary together for that, whatever that book is I have. I Connected and Empowered or something like that. But a lot of this, it just, talked with as many people as I could, and I couldn't get real. Like the Hun correction, I ended up saying, well, I see that when a person's suffering from depression, that kind of thing.
That's correct. It's conscious and unconscious mind. Again, now maybe with this, what I just said, Grandmaster David is monitoring the chat. This might entice some of you to ask questions, and that question is a good one to ask over there. If Grandmaster is not answering it, it might be that Emily will do that in his behalf. Believe me, we want to help everyone here in the group to understand things better. And I just want to put one other reminder out, which I have forgotten for a long time. But never tell somebody, please don't, that we are diagnosing anything. It is that we evaluating and, guessing. That's the right thing to say officially. We don't want the FDA on our software.
Yeah, they give you way too many carbs in prison. So we don't want that. So
yeah.
I think everybody on the call, they know that. And we're just clearing anything, keeping our voltage low, which the Chinese call Qi. So, yeah. All right. Well, it looks like that's it for today. But I'm going to be calling those of you that we've talked a little bit before about this power latency when we're ready to get started and go from there.
Cathy?
Yeah.
Smarty, I just want to thank everyone who helped with energy in the past few days when I was missing. Back around. Thank you.
How are you doing? Did it help?
Yes, it did. I'm still having back issue from the osteopathic manipulation, whatever the heck she does, and I have an appointment with her on Zoom in 10 minutes. So
Better and better.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, I will talk with, hopefully, call me today, Marty, when you get a free moment.
I will. Thank you.
And, okay. And I guess that's it, everybody.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Cathy. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a great day.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call for October 13th, 2021. We thank everyone who attended today, and we look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Till then, take care and be well.